Okay, this is now tarot lesson number 136, and I'm calling it Family Resemblances, and I'll get to why. So, Stefan asked a question, or left a comment, and it had to do with, I can't quite remember the whole comment, but he wanted to know, or his last point was, why do we need the tarot, or what's it good for? So, I'd like to tell you a little bit about Wittgenstein. So it has to do with, it also has to do with card meanings, and people tend to want to know what a card means, and it's as if there's one particular answer. So for a long time, people wanted a definite answer for everything. They wanted to know the essence of something. So what Plato and Plato's Republic talked about, what is justice? And so he wanted a definition of justice. And then the scientific revolution came along, and if you look at science, they've got definitions, and it's clear what something is, and it's repeatable, and it's a way of understanding the world. So, Ludwig Wittgenstein was an Austrian philosopher, and he was certainly most influential. He might even be the most influential philosopher of the 20th century. He's a big name. He's a big deal. So he wrote a couple of books, one, the Tractatus, and the other, Philosophical Investigations. The Tractatus is very difficult, I think, mainly because he gave you his conclusions. He didn't take you through how he got to his conclusions. And I think that's why it's difficult. But anyway, one of his points was, instead of looking for a single essence or a definitive characteristic of something, what we do is we look for family resemblances. So he talks about family games or word games. And so if somebody says what's a game, you can give examples of different games, but it can be very difficult to define exactly what a game is, because there can be things that are maybe a game but maybe not, and that's where a general idea of family resemblance comes in. And I think what we do is, with a tarot reading, instead of turning a card, like this is that one that we looked at before, the Page of Swords, what does it mean? We're getting an idea of the family connected with this card, and what other cards might give us an idea or remind us of or resemble this particular Page of Swords. And then we get the Eight of Cups. So we look at these two. If instead of looking at them, this means something and that means something, what are the two together? What kind of family is the Page of Swords? What would go along with the Page of Swords? And it's a page, so it's somebody young, inexperienced, juvenile maybe. It's upright, so we're going to take a positive description. So it's not stupid because he's young, because often young people aren't that intelligent or don't have that much experience to build on or to make a decision about, so they can do stupid things. But the page is upright, so we're going to say it's inexperienced and but attentive, because he's looking and he's got a sword. Maybe he's dangerous, but at this point he's not yet dangerous, right? So that's the kind of family of the Page of Swords. And what about the Eight of Cups? Here we've got a traveller, a wanderer, somebody who is concerned about order and neatness, because the 3 cups are here, and the 5 cups are here, and they're neatly organised. Somebody who is changeable, because the moon is up here and the moon changes quickly. So we're looking is there a family resemblance between the Page of Swords and the Eight of Cups? Does the Page of Swords change? And if so, how quickly? Does the Eight of Cups change? And if so, how quickly? And I think by thinking or wondering about change and these two cards, we get an idea of what it all means, so we can answer the question. So I'm going to come to the rest of these cards, but I wanted to mention first Wittgenstein has the sun at 6 degrees of Taurus. And there's a book that gives you the meaning of each degree of the zodiac. Every degree is ruled by a particular planet. And 6 degrees of Taurus happen to be ruled by Mercury. So you can have two people who both have the sun at 6 degrees of Taurus, but Mercury is in a different place. So they're not exactly the same. But given that Wittgenstein was the greatest philosopher of the 20th century, I thought you might be interested to read the meaning of the 6th degree of Taurus. So anybody with the 6th degree of Taurus is dealing with this kind of experience or this kind of energy or this kind of behavior or this kind of future, this kind of life. But the scale or the volume will be different. Wittgenstein influenced the world, right? Whereas somebody else with the sun at 6 degrees of Taurus might be influential in their community or in their school or in their family, in their extended family. But we've got the idea, I'll read it. A judge in his robes of office handing a book to a student who's stretching out his hands to receive it. Now, Wittgenstein taught at Cambridge, University of Cambridge, and he did other things as well, but he was a writer and a philosopher. And just that idea of a judge in his robes of office handing a book to a student who is stretching out his hand to receive it denotes one who will rise to a position of importance and whose mission and ambition it will be in life to give instruction and to secure the advancement of worthy people of wit, talent and inspiration. These acts will reflect his own glory as the moon reflects the brightness of the sun. It's a symbol of illumination. So that 6 degree of Taurus gives you an idea of how Wittgenstein was built and what he was aiming for or what he would naturally do in his own life. And then you look at Mercury and you look at the other planets and the signs on cusps, and you get an idea of why he was able to be what he eventually became, this phenomenally interesting philosopher, influential. So this kind of goes back to Diego's question about if you ask a question and the cards seem to answer one that wasn't asked, what do you do? And I think what you do is you use the cards that come up to answer the question. So the one we looked at last time was, should I move to a new city? And we do a Celtic Cross. So at this point, you're wondering if it's a good idea, and you may be a little bit doubtful because you're holding a sword. The opposing force is the urge to walk away. Is it a good idea to leave? The foundation's a 2 of Cups. So where you are now, you're good at meeting people and you've got good friends and good association because it's a 2 of Cups. It looks good. It's friendly, happy, nice people that you know. It's not like if the card had been upside down, you want to move to a new city to find love. Or you want to move to a new city because you've been disappointed in love or disappointed with friendships. So that's the foundation here. What a future, the immediate future, I think it was called, was the Lover's Reverse. So if you move to a new city, you're not going to immediately feel totally at home. If the lovers have been upright, yes, you fit in, you meet people, you connect with them, but it's upside down. So it's a bit like your first reaction on getting to the new city is it's not quite right. Something is missing. That may or may not continue. Then the recent past, or was the recent past, is the 2 of Pentacles. You're wondering about, is it a good idea? And you're balancing different things. So maybe you're thinking about, you already know these people. What are you going to do if you leave them behind? Will you be able to meet new people? Or maybe you're thinking about the money because it's coins. So maybe you're wondering about, are you going to find a job that will be enjoyable with nice people, that's going to pay you enough to live the way you want to live in the new city? The future is the Star. So it's going to be good because the Lover's Reversed is replaced by the Star. And so the beginning of this was family resemblances. So here we've got 2 people. And here we've got two people. What's the difference between them? What's the resemblance between them? Here you've got like one-on-one connections with people. Here maybe a long-term fulfillment is missing because it's the lovers, and it's a major trumpet, it's upside down. So yes, you get on well with people, but you're looking for somebody special or some special connection with people, and you're going to struggle to find that in the immediate future. But the star comes up, you're going to find good people that you can relate to. And so what's the family connection? We've got 2 cups here and we've got 2 cups here. We can find a connection between these two. And so what works and what the good connections you have here are going to be duplicated here with the star card. Maybe not with the lovers, but that's okay because that will change into the star. Then the present is the 9 of Cups. You're optimistic because that's the wish card. And other people are good and friendly and helpful and inspiring. And so in the last one, I looked at 1 becomes 2. So this, if I'm saying look at this card and these two together as a triangle. And so if you look at these 3 cards, instead of this means something, that means something, and that means something, what's the family resemblance? What is there a family resemblance? What kind of resemblance would you come up with if you look at these 3 cards together as a group? And so we've got cups upright, celebration, and here we've got feeling satisfied and being inspired. So if you think of it as a family resemblance, what kind of group activity is this describing? You've got good social connections with people, you're personally satisfied, and you like the people and the people like you, and you've got good reason to be optimistic and carefree because you've got a child sitting on a horse. And then I said before, look at this one along with these 2, and we've got the hopes and fears, future conditions, or what we expect is the Emperor. Going to the new city, you want to become, or you want to feel you're important. You want to feel that you're an emperor, that you're in control, you're in charge, you're building something, you've got people below you that you can order around. But we've got the Queen of Batons upside down. You've got a few things to learn about how to give orders and how to, or maybe if you try to control other people, it's not going to work because the Queen is upside down. So here, looking at the family resemblances between the lovers reversed, the Emperor, and the Queen of Batons reversed, we've got in the lovers, we've got a man and a woman. Happens to be Adam and Eve, but it's a man and a woman. Here we've got a man, the Emperor, and a woman, the Queen reversed. So this lovers card isn't working. You're making mistakes with people or making mistakes in relationship. The Emperor's right. The man knows what he's doing. The woman doesn't know what she's doing. And so men go out and make things happen. Women respond to circumstances. So you can successfully make things happen, but in doing that, you're going to misunderstand the reaction that other people have to what you do, or you're not going to be able to incorporate everybody into your plan. So I'm rushing because I think the battery's going to run out and I don't want it to stop. So that was something about, I don't know if that answered your question, Stefan, or it gives you something to think about anyway. But maybe that idea that we're not looking for single answers or definitions, but instead we're looking at cards to see, is there a family resemblance? What kind of resemblance is it? And if there isn't a family resemblance, what does it show? What does it show instead of a connection between people? And also I like that 6 degrees of Taurus. I mean, it just sums up Wittgenstein and what he did and what he was capable of in its own particular way. And it's a symbol of illumination. And he did illuminate philosophy in his own way, and language and things like that. Okay, I need to rush quickly because I don't want the battery to end. So thanks for watching, and I'll be back in a few days. Have a good day. Bye-bye.